In the realm of theological and philosophical discussions, few questions carry as much weight as who created God? This seemingly simple query has challenged believers and skeptics alike for millennia, touching the very foundations of human understanding about existence, causality, and the divine. Let's embark on a fascinating journey to explore this profound question and unravel its complex implications. The paradox of first cause. Imagine standing in an art gallery admiring an intricate painting. Naturally, you'd assume an artist created it. Now picture an endless hallway of artists, each one having trained the next, stretching infinitely backward through time. Logically impossible, isn't it? This same conundrum applies to our universe and existence itself. Everything we observe has a cause, a beginning, but this chain of causation cannot extend infinitely backward. Consider this scenario. You're at a train station waiting for your ticket. The ticket seller says you can't get your ticket until the person before you gets theirs, and that person is waiting for someone else, and so on infinitely. In this situation, would anyone ever receive a ticket? The answer is no. Similarly, if everything required a prior cause with no ultimate starting point, nothing could ever come into existence. Breaking down the infinite regression problem. The question, who created God, stems from our human experience with causality. We live in a world where everything we encounter has a beginning and an end. Trees grow from seeds, buildings rise from foundations, and children are born to parents. This pattern is so deeply ingrained in our understanding that we instinctively apply it to everything, including God. The necessity of an eternal entity. Our universe presents us with compelling evidence that something eternal must exist. The reality of our present existence demands an explanation that cannot be satisfied by an infinite chain of causes. We exist right now in this moment, and this fundamental fact requires a rational explanation. Modern cosmology reinforces this necessity through its demonstration of universal expansion and the finite nature of cosmic energy. The Big Bang Theory, while supporting the concept of a definite beginning, raises even more profound questions about what initiated this cosmic event. The logical necessity of an eternal entity becomes clear when we consider the alternatives. A universe without an eternal foundation presents us with only two possibilities, both of which defy logic and scientific understanding. Either something emerged from absolute nothingness, a concept that violates fundamental principles of causation, or we must accept an infinite regression of causes, which, as we've established, is logically impossible. Why can't the universe be eternal? Some might suggest that the universe itself is eternal, eliminating the need for a creator. However, modern science presents several challenges to this view. The expanding universe serves as a compelling piece of evidence against cosmic eternality. Imagine a balloon being inflated. Just as we can trace the balloon's expansion back to its uninflated state, cosmologists can trace cosmic expansion backward. This regression leads to a singular point of origin, the Big Bang. The universe's expansion is not just a theory, but an observed phenomenon, supported by extensive astronomical data. The energy dilemma presents another crucial argument against an eternal universe. Think of the universe as a cosmic battery. Like all batteries, it's running down. The second law of thermodynamics tells us that usable energy in an isolated system only decreases over time. If the universe were eternal, this battery would have depleted its energy an infinite time ago. The fact that we still have usable energy indicates a finite age for our universe. The nature of divine eternity. The concept of an eternal God challenges our temporal understanding. We think in terms of time, past, present, and future, because we exist within time. But consider this. Time itself is a created dimension, like length, width, and height. Just as an author exists outside the time frame of their novel, God exists outside the time he created. This is expressed beautifully in Psalm 90, Torn 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. This passage doesn't just describe a very long existence, it describes an existence completely independent of time itself. Implications and understanding. Understanding God as eternal rather than created resolves several philosophical challenges. The existence of an eternal intelligent being explains the presence of complex design in the universe, while avoiding the logical problem of complexity arising from nothing. This eternal being provides a logical foundation for everything else that exists, answering the fundamental question of why there is something rather than nothing. Moreover, it explains how time itself could have a beginning and resolves the paradox of what came before the universe. The question, who created God, ultimately reveals the limitations of human thinking. We naturally think in terms of beginnings and endings because we exist within time. However, the very concept of God transcends these limitations. Just as a fish might struggle to comprehend existence outside of water, we struggle to fully grasp existence outside of time. Therefore, the answer isn't that God doesn't need a creator because he's special. It's that the concept of creation itself only applies to things within time. God, by definition and necessity, exists outside these constraints as the eternal foundation of all existence. This understanding doesn't require us to abandon logic or scientific thinking. Instead, it challenges us to expand our perspective beyond our temporal experience to grasp a deeper reality, one where the eternal nature of God isn't just possible, but necessary for our own existence. The next time someone asks, who created God? We can engage in a meaningful discussion about the nature of existence, time, and eternity, recognizing that some questions reveal more about our limited perspective than about the nature of ultimate reality.